Alright, back on this Dell laptop because I got a new CPU in the mail, and we'll see if it solves the issue or if it's not. Here's the new one, packaged very nicely in this neat little box. I'm going to remove this one and put it in there. It even came with some generic thermal paste, grease, whatever you want to call it. So let's give it a hope that it'll power up with a new CPU, because I have had these go bad before. In these machines right here, I've had a couple that CPUs have quit for no apparent reason on them. And this is basically the same. Pretty sure this one's socket's the same as those. Not for certain on that, but so don't quote me on it. But I'm going to give it a try with a new one here. The new one did fix that one. That one works because of a replacement CPU also. It was dead. So let's try it, see what happens. Okay, it's plugged in. I don't have a heatsink on it, but it's going to be a brief test. Yeah, you can do that with an Intel chip for sure. I've done it before. But place your bets, I guess. I bet it won't fix it. Mostly because I'm guessing I don't have a way to really test this machine. And same exact thing. So, not the CPU. Kind of what I figured. But the weird thing is, there's no obvious issues at all. So I cannot tell you what failed. I know when I had this heatsink off, the video chip definitely got warm, almost hot to the touch. So that was full of life, but I don't get any action from the CPU. No heat, nothing. And that's just sad. I also think maybe a voltage is missing because the hard drive doesn't spin up. And maybe that's why it won't boot, because it's not... I don't know. I am not that technically inclined to tell you what part might fail on this. You know, like, is there a power supply issue? I could try to just follow the power plug and see if I get any action out of this thing. I guess it's probably going to be another one unless I find a board for it. I suppose I could order a replacement board for this thing. It's in pretty good shape, other than this stupid hinge was all seized up. So it's kind of broken the plastic and stuff. I oiled it up a little bit, and that helped. Get the focus. It had some rust and green corrosion on the hinge, so it's made it kind of tight, but adding some oil I think helped. The other side looks pretty good. Yeah, and the other thing is it doesn't, I mean, I get that, a blink for the battery randomly. If it's like trying, yeah, this will be something to add to my videoing, I guess. And if I dig into it more, I'll dig into this project. So, well, maybe I have a good CPU now laying around. Maybe I'll have to plug it in to that unit, if it's the same for sure or not, and test them. Make sure I have known good parts before I scrap this. Anyway, yeah, it's unfortunate because, I mean, yeah, it's nothing great. It's just a bare bones XP unit, Intel video chip. You know, doesn't even have a higher end video card in it. Wish those were replaceable. You know, so you can put your own chips or whatever on them. Maybe I can find another one of these Dells that have a better video chip, same board and same layout, that would plug in and get a better laptop out of it. The thing's in, like, maybe this thing died early on or something, because it just, the keyboard's so clean other than the random bits of dirt that are in it. You know, it's not super full of crud. And nice, I got a screw there. Yeah, it's such a nice keyboard. You know, it'd be a good little laptop for retro whatever shenanigan you got going on. And yeah, it's got the original hard drive in it too. It'd be fun to see what's on it. I could plug it into another laptop, I suppose. It's just an IDE hard drive. Maybe I'll do that. Stick it in one of my other Dells. See what kind of random files are hidden on the hard drive. If it's even got any system, or if it even works, I guess it'd be another part to test. I am gonna pull some stuff out and do some more videoing on it. Like probably pull that case out and see if these CPUs are any good. I think those will work, like I said before. Anyway, I gotta quit mambling. Why do I say mambling? Rambling in my videos. Okay, same processor. It does work. The one that was in that laptop. You can turn it on. See the fan going, and there you go. Dell boots right up, starts booting into XP and all the thing, but you don't want to run it because it'll get hot. Surprisingly, it doesn't get that hot. It takes a bit. Like you can run that for like I still got my hand on here. It's not that hot. So that one works beautifully. So there's nothing wrong with that CPU at all. I mean, it gets nice and hot now, of course. Let's test my eBay one just to see. I'm sure it said it was known working, tested from a poll or whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure it'll work fine too. Pins aren't super perfect, but they're not bad enough to get in the socket. And let's turn this one on. Will it work? Probably it will. If I can reach the, oh yeah, plug the power cable in. That helps. Fans on. Post the Dell right away. Pentium 4, all that good jazz. So it does work. Both of them work, of course. Well, I had to verify. And that way I know what's going on. So this one is the one that was in there. And the grease stuck to it good enough that when I pulled this off, it pulled the CPU out without the latch. Anyway, yeah. Okay, moving on to the next step of, I don't know, either I'll have to order another board, find one that's known working, or do a little bit more poking around on the board, trying to figure out the power supply issue. Because I think that's what's going on with it. It's just not, you know, you got 5 volts, 12 volts on, and I think other things like negative whatever voltages, 3 volts, whatever those CPUs need anyway, that it must not be doing on that laptop. And yes, I've tried a different power supply that I know works too, and I've tried this on a different computer and that works fine. So it's not the power brick. That's definitely functional. It's something on the laptop. Okay, next bit. Random laptop goodness to go with some of my videoing here. And then, anybody ever see this page before? Function keys thing. It's a very interesting little thing to see, I guess. This is one of the random Dell laptops that I got floating around. Had to have because I like this color. Yes, it's a little dirty. Could use good scrubbing. Anyway, escape to continue. I thought I could get that bigger, but anyway. Weird. Got Windows 2000, which it's supported for. Technically, I could probably run XP on this thing, but it's only a little Pentium 3, so wouldn't have the best performance. 2000 is about your peak goodness for this thing. Anyway, and the only reason I have this out is because I wanted to try that hard drive out of that other laptop. This lovely little Toshiba 20 or 30 gig, 30, that's loud, 30 gigabyte drive in this IDE, so I gotta do it in one of these old laptops and see if I can get it to boot and see if there's anything on it. But I just wanted to make sure this one still runs and works. I was going to use the ThinkPad, but it kept trying to boot and get to Windows or whatever, and then it would like drop out, power supply issue or battery issue, something, I don't know. So that wasn't going to work. This one's more reliable, so I'm going to use this for testing that hard drive. Definitely seen some serious use on this one. See what I mean by like an actual use laptop? Like the palm rests are dirty and rough, and keys are like this. That other Dell laptop that I'm working on that's dead, it must have died early in its life, not having much use on it, because the keys are just so nice on it. And then the palm rests are perfect on it, everything. Yeah, so definitely newer than this thing, but I like this thing. There is actually, yeah, I like this color. I had to have it because it's a different color than most laptops. Usually you just get silver or black, and this one has maroon color, and there was a blue one, and there might have been a black one. I thought about collecting them, but people want too much for them. I have a weird thing with laptops, don't know why. Just started collecting them because I could, I guess. All right, I'm gonna swap the hard drive out quick and see if this thing still works. I don't have much hope for this Toshiba drive. I've had some MP3 players with these that would not work. They're just seized up, don't work, junk, whatever. Maybe they'll get lucky on that one. We'll see. Okay, that other hard drive is in there. Yeah, I heard it spin up and seek, so. Oh, why'd you die right away? Really? I'm having a tough time with laptops today, apparently. Okay, stay. Is it gonna boot? Dell.com. It's loading. Should be XP. It's probably gonna crash. No, it's loading. Well, that's a good sign. It's definitely XP. I'll have to hack it a bit if there's a password. To get past the password, you gotta run into an administrator account. There is ways around it on XP. Wasn't the most secure system. What's the name gonna be? Welcome screen. Level. Oh wow, no password, nothing. Just boot right into XP. That's nice. Definitely got issues with the display driver. I really thought. Oh, font. This is a font key. There we go, to get the full screen. It's the wrong resolution, of course, but it's a functioning hard drive. I'm happy with that. It might be at risk. Had Wi-Fi on that other laptop, I think. There doesn't appear to be much on this thing, which is kind of what I figured, that laptop must have quit early on. WordPerfect, okay. Adobe. Let's see. Really hard to do this and hold the phone at the same time and look at it. Sonic or something. Go away, bubbles. Oh my goodness. I know this thing is not that fast for XP cruising here. Quit bubbling me. Windows still does crap like this. Yeah, this thing's not very fast. What else do we got on here? Nothing, but got some Dell bloatware. What's finding the driver? Must have found a video driver. Oh, it's finding a bunch of drivers. Maybe I should have let this do all the things first before recording this. I'm glad the hard drive works. That's nice. Typical games. Really, there's not a lot on here. Owner's manual. Is there any documents? User files, Cyberlink, ebooks, music, pictures. I got audio now. XP's definitely found the drivers. I don't really need to use this hard drive on here, but I guess it would work. Could just have an XP Pentium 3. Why did you kill my mouse, computer? I guess I gotta let it load the drivers. Accomplished my goal of seeing if it worked or if there was anything on that drive. Alright, Ventic Dell power supply going here. Fan spin up. That's good to hear. There's a blinking cursor. Interesting. You think you would get a BIOS screen or something. No CD surprises. But interesting. I don't know how to get past that. LT control delete right on the bottom. What kind of weird keyboard is this? Well, that's annoying. How do you get supposed to get to a BIOS screen if it just blinks? What is it waiting for? I might have to do a quick search on this. But at least I know the display is good. Lights up, no breaks, looks good. It powers up. Power supply part is working. CPU must be working then. Video, stuff like that. Memory. What is oh, it's an info button. What the heck is that for? I'm not sure what that's for. Well, this will have to take some research to figure out what's going on with that. I put the battery in from the other one, but it doesn't appear to want to charge that either, so I'm sure it's junk. It blinks once. I don't think it's going to charge. Let's see. I'm going to listen for the hard drive. Sounds like it's got a good hard drive. I can hear it spin up. But it does nothing. It's immediate blink. That's different. I've never seen that before as far as a problem. Must do some research. And I'll be back. Okay, pulled the hard drive out. We got a 60 gigabyte Hitachi. Nothing special. Probably might even be something on it. Yeah, right to the blinking cursor right away. I have no idea if there's a way to reload the BIOS. Because you should get the Dell splash screen or something. And we're getting nothing. And there's no key pressing, no beeps. Nothing but a power light and a blinking cursor. Oh, the fan went down this time. Yeah, I don't know where to go from this. I guess I'll have to see if anybody else had this issue in life. Don't know what it's waiting for. Wouldn't be a network boot, I don't think. Like I said, it should get something here. BIOS, Dell, something. Okay, I'll do some research. Okay, I have to show mind-blowing stupidity here because it's just crazy. So, the smaller display, which I know works because I tested it already. Battery's out right here. It's plugged into the back of the wall. So battery port out right there. We're working on the same laptop. same issue. Really hard to do this one-handed. I turn it on and boot it with the power supply. It goes right to the the boot sequence like it's supposed to. How does the display have anything to do with the thing not booting with the power supply? It'll boot with the battery, but not with the power supply. So is the screen got a issue? Like, what's going on with this stupid thing? I'm so confused. I've never seen an issue like this before. And I didn't want to use this one because this hinge was bad and the display was the plastic was broken. But if that's going to make a working laptop, I guess I'll have to live with it. It was broken like that because it rusted up, moisture, humidity, whatever, and it was real stiff, and of course breaks the plastic. It's going to boot right into Windows XP, no problem. That's ridiculous. Sound, everything works. Touchpad. I think this is the other hard drive that was out of this one. I mixed them up probably. I think that's a 30 gig. This is the other one that's supposed to be in here is a 60, I believe. So could try to boot it from that. Okay. I mean, this display looks fine. It's very usable. I'll probably just live with it. I really wanted to use the bigger one, like I said, but I guess to make a usable working laptop, we're just gonna have to leave it as is with a broken hinge. Well, I mean, not horrible. It opens and closes. It'll work. Disabled Wi-Fi because it doesn't have one. Actually, a guy could just do a program here quick. DX diag. See what this thing has for specs now. I got my 512 stick, 2.8 gigahertz mobile. Even shows charging on the battery, I think. Updates. How are you doing updates? Okay, interesting. Somebody must have updated before it wasn't updating. Anyway, I knew it was an Intel graphics chip on this thing. Not very special. 64 meg. But I don't know. It should be able to play some things. I wouldn't call it great. There we go. Just typical basic 3D. I still do not understand the crashing. Like, it halts the system hardcore with that other display plugged in. It won't even boot XP off the battery. So I'm really confused with this thing. Got lots of Dell junk on here. Probably shouldn't have done that because now I'm gotta wait for that before I shut it off. In this cop job going on here. So yeah, if this video gets out there and people have any thoughts on this weird problem that this particular Dell has, definitely help me out. I don't really feel like spending any more money on this project. I already bought another one for parts to try to make two work, or one, should say one work out of two. And in theory, I kind of have that with this display. It's so weird. Just don't install right now. That was the update. Windows Internet Explorer 7. Functions perfectly. It doesn't even crash, doesn't even slow down. I will plug in, sound works, you know. Oh, that's why I was like, oh, why does it not show it's charging? battery because I didn't have it in. Duh. Okay. It's fairly responsive, but I'm going to plug in that other display and I'll show you again. Without the battery, power supply plugged in, it'll just give me a cursor. It refuses to do anything. But with this display on this same motherboard, boot's fine. That one's dead. I need some information. Somebody out there, please let me know on this, because I've never heard of a display, you know, causing a fault like that. That's crazy. You know, if you Googled this issue with the blinking cursor, there was a few people out there way back when that had that issue, but nobody really had any solve it issues. See, we got the connector to this little 14. Just kind of stuck it there. Set that aside again. I haven't changed anything right now. I can't imagine why the display would be an issue. Is it some sort of power supply fault on the board? I don't know. I need some thoughts, people. See, okay, there we go. Plug in the original display. Oops. Turn it on. Okay, now it's going to. Seriously? Was it a connection issue that I was dealing with all along right there? Because if this boots into XP with this, because it wasn't when I started this clip, it's gonna boot. So that's gonna make me wonder if this thing's gonna be unreliable. You know, it's gonna boot perfectly with the bigger display, which I'm happy with. If it'll stay that way, I would gladly let it work. Put it together again. I'm so at a loss now. Hey, computers some days, they really are something else. just something else sometimes. I mean, technically I think that other display is a little brighter, doesn't have the darker, like there's probably more hours on this display than that one. That one actually is really nice looking. If it wasn't broken, I probably would stick with it. Just this being all busted and not right bugs me. I want a complete, nice Dell XP laptop. That's all I'm trying to go for here. Oh man, what a weird deal. I just don't know. Is it because the other parts were in place? You know, it's like you're trying to test and it doesn't work. But watch, I'll put it back together and it'll do the stupid blinking cursor, and then I'll just be mad as heck at this. I don't know. I'm afraid to put it back together. It's working right now. You know, does it really show up on camera how kind of darkish this one is down here that all these can have? Man, I wish that hinge wasn't broken. That was definitely a nice display. Well, we'll put it back together and just try to use it this way. If it's still at fault and maybe that solves it, I don't know. We'll try it. I'll be back when I put it back together and we'll reboot it and see what happens. Okay, appears to be booting, put the keyboard and other parts back together. So I don't know, maybe I just didn't have it connected right and I was just freaking out about the whole deal. I don't know. I think still one of the main issues was that power port for sure. The display looks a lot better after it warms up. That tube is a little tired, like any of those fluorescent tubes get. That other one must, I'm pretty sure this laptop had very little use, because that display is really good and grease was clean, you know, soft and clean. Just a shame it didn't work. If I had another one of these boards, I could probably piece together another one. I don't need two. But yeah, it booted again. I think I bumped the RAM. I don't have the covers on and stuff, and it crashed, but seems to be pretty stable otherwise. I'm gonna shut down, swap that other hard drive out, and see if it'll boot with the original drive. Good old XP sounds. How many people had to listen to that all the time? Like when I was in high school, we had XP and heard that sound a lot, along with Macs, because we had both PC and Mac in our school system. Mostly Mac, Apple, whatever you want to call it. I think it started out as Macintoshes, and then at some point we moved to Apples. Plug in the hard drive that goes with this thing, and it should boot. Still getting an actual BIOS screen, which it didn't do when I first got this thing. I really thought it was screen because I switched it out like that, but it was not. Like maybe the connector was bad or not seated correctly. You would think you'd see stuff on the screen or something, or the RAM might have been just loose enough, something, I don't know, but I think the power connector fixed the issue. We don't have drivers loaded. Why? The other one was perfectly loaded. Interesting. Kind of a cool picture with I don't know what color resolution, 256 or something. Well, I guess it doesn't have the drivers on it. Yeah, I will yeah, this is a 60 gigabyte, which I'd rather use that. It gives me a little bit more space for applications. So I'll have to get the proper drivers loaded. But I'm going to finish putting this thing back together again, and see what we got. I don't know, I guess I could run a 30 gig, but 30 gigs don't last very long when you're running a bunch of games and programs on it. Yeah, just 30 gigabyte. That one had all the drivers loaded and everything worked great. So you're gonna turn it off, and yeah, I don't think I've ever seen XP in 8-bit. So used to it looking nice. Well, accomplishments anyway. Got a cover that has the stickers on it. Had to use the keyboard for this bigger screen laptop because this one, the escape key, refused to work for some reason, unfortunately. So I mean, it wasn't that dirty, just you could tell it was used, and that keyboard honestly is pretty nice. Not even much dirt in it or nothing. Okay, I'm getting tired already. You guys probably are too. Let's see here. Put this piece back on, put the covers on the back, get some drivers loaded, put a game on it, just see how well that Intel chip can do any 3D. I don't hold much hope for those. I've had I have not had much luck with Intel chips, but we'll give it a try. Well, it's doing it again. Put the covers on and things, and put stuff back on, and put this back on, and it's like, okay, I'll boot it, just flipping things around, and oh look, there's the blinking cursor again. Doesn't work. I don't know what I'm doing that's causing it to fault out. Like, what is it? What am I changing? You know, I'd like to know. I'd really like to know. It just, yeah, I didn't do anything hardly. Is it a RAM issue? I mean, I got 2 sticks in there and they seem to work fine. Well, I'm gonna have to give up on this pretty soon. It gets later in the evening and my brain just can't keep doing all this. Because it really shouldn't be a problem. I don't know why it is. Why don't I get the Dell screen? Why? This is just really frustrating because I just want one to work. Is it that hard? Apparently it is. It's like, oh, it'll work fine when I put things back together. And as soon as I do, it just says, no, we're not going to do it. Don't want to. I don't know why it's got issues. Well, guys, I may have to just call it quits. What else should I try? I don't know. I can get it. It'll probably be if I unplug the power brick, shut it off. I'm sure it'll go right to the Dell screen. Yeah, see? What is that? What is its personal problem with the power supply? Plugged in, nothing. And it was working so good. Yep. Like, how do I get it to work again? Like, I really want to figure this out. And I'm not having much luck with it for some reason. Yeah, nothing. I could try plugging into the other display and like maybe it's the flexing on the board that's doing it. You know, that's so annoying. I just want it to work. Just want something to work. Guess you can't win everything. Kind of like this just random era of Dell basic laptop. And to get to the display cover, you gotta take this thing off. It's only 1 screw. But it's the fact that you gotta do it. So, let's see. As it is right now, is it going to be blinking cursor? Okay, blinking cursor. Let's unplug the display, which is pretty hard on it some days. Plug it back in here. It's really hard to do one-handed stuff. Didn't change a thing. So why, like, I just really don't know what's causing the issue. Is it flexing the board? Is it because of the RAM? Like, what is going on here? We're gonna figure this out. Still blinking cursor. Okay, so it's not that. Let's pull this carefully again. Let's just do what I did initially the first time, but screwed me up or confused me. It's tougher to do all this one-handed. Oh, struggling in life. Okay, that's plugged in. Of course, the power button's underneath. This is really hard to do one-handed, guys. What are we gonna get here? If I get the Dell screen, it's gonna drive me nuts. Okay, so it's definitely got to be something else that I'm missing. And it was just a fluke that plugging the other display in made it work. Just, yeah, I've got to figure this out. Plugging and unplugging things didn't do it. Is it the plug-in itself? I don't know. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Because the battery's still in it, so. And when it works, either battery or no battery. So I'm so confused right now. This whole thing has been challenging the crap out of me. I could try a different processor, I suppose. I have another working one of those. I wouldn't think that'd be an issue because it seemed to work good. Keyboard shouldn't cause any of that. The guy just has to go through everything, plugging in and unplugging until you figure out what the heck is not doing it. Well, I'm gonna get off camera and do a bunch of things. Maybe try a different processor just because it's easy to swap. It's got to be something, guys. We'll figure it out. Maybe getting somewhere on this. The more and more I screw with it, the more I'm thinking of processor. Either that socket. I need to get some deoxit in it or something. Because, it would just do the dotted lines with this CPU. Tried the CPU from that one into here, and it kind of got better. But it'll crash right about there. I don't know. I'm having such a trouble with this thing. This is crazy. Usually they're a lot easier to fix than this. And I tried, I have another pole that I know it works. Might see that in one of my videos. I don't know what I got going on there. In that Dell down there, same socket, same processor speed, everything. It works fine, I know it does. It gets warm in here, but no display at all. This one's kind of booting. And this one, I don't know, it definitely ran XP. It worked. So I got an issue with that socket. I should have looked at the board better when I had it all out. I really don't want to take this all out again. It's such a pain in the butt. Wish it was a lot easier. With it not pressed down, will it do much? And that's where it sits. Well, let's try the other processor quick. Okay, I'm gonna call it a CPU issue. Probably just gonna have to quit tonight. Put the one back in there and it just gives me a blinking cursor. The other one would give me more than that, and this one nothing. So I don't know. What do I got going on here? These are all the same part number processors. There shouldn't be any differences. Also kind of wish this socket was this socket. This is a much more clunkier, clickier, just nicer socket, I think. But this other one that I know good is totally good. Should work. but I get nothing on the display, and it gets hot, or not hot, starts warming up. I'm so confused on this right now. This thing should not have issues like this. The socket doesn't really look bad or anything either. The camera can probably see in there better than I can. I think the last effort here, I'm gonna have to try some deoxit and just see if I get anything different. Because yeah, I'm getting kind of frustrated at this moment. Now it'll show a Dell screen, but crash now. So I don't know what's going on here. I'm just gonna leave it apart and leave it a mess right now, because that's as far as I'm gonna get on this project. I got places to be this weekend, so it's gonna be tough to do much. So here we go. Confusing stuff. Do I have to order another processor? I mean, like I said, this one should work fine. Do I have to put it in another computer to see? If I can get the camera to actually focus on this stuff. This one, 2.8, 512, 533. 2.8, 512, 533. I mean, different. It was manufactured in different places. This one's that one's Philippines, and this one's Malaysia, China, probably. This one, what does this one say it was? Come on, another China one. So the two that are the same, this one doesn't want to work, apparently. Not sure why. It should. If anybody can tell me on that, if there's a difference on these processors or not, other than manufacturing plants. Well, this is a mess and I gotta quit. My brain hurts thinking about it. I will keep going on this project and keep you guys posted. Try not to make this video too crazy long. Yeah, keep with this. If this is the fault, then it's the fault. I don't know. Everything else seems to work, and unfortunately, it somehow corrupted that hard drive dealing with this. So that's annoying. But at least the other one's still good. Okay, give it up for now. Okay, no, the desk is a mess right now, but I don't have a lot of time to do this. It's just my lunch break. Got another one of these darn Dell laptops. Don't know if this one works either. I'm not having much luck with these. But here's hoping this will be the third time the charm, right? But hopefully this one survives everything. It looks pretty good. Got a lot of extra packaging in here. A lot of extra packaging, actually. You know, when people do things right, stuff actually arrives safe. And it didn't, you know, it's not like they made any money off this either. Okay. Guess that's one way, just use a bunch of envelopes. I mean, you can buy a roll of bubble tape, it'll do the same thing. Another random project going on here. A big envelope. Pull the Dell out of the sleeve. Alright, here's another one. Other than the hinges, I think this one's in pretty good shape. A little bit of scratches too, I guess. Yeah, it's a little rougher than I thought. But the hinges anyway. I think this one's got the smaller display also. Other than the cracks, the hinges seem to work okay. Keyboard looks good. Just a good old Pentium 4 regular Intel. Okay, like I said, third time is the charm on one of these, right? It's even got a battery, so cool. I'll have two batteries maybe. If I ever get one of these to work right. Just really haven't had any luck buying these. Plug her in. Get a charge light. So that's something. Guess you're gonna power up. Fans are up. Hard drive spin. And we don't have any luck. Okay, it doesn't have memory in it. It was blinking the cap light there. Let's fix that really quick. Find a quick screwdriver here. Or maybe it does have memory in it, and it I thought it said it came with memory. Yeah, it did come with memory sticks. Well, for one, that one's not in right. It's just kind of jammed in there. Lovely. There we go. Reseat this one properly too. It doesn't quite sit in there properly. Should be 512 megs total if everything works. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Now we got a Dell screen. Look at that. Maybe the third time's the charm on one of these. Invalid configuration. The battery is dead. Wonderful. These are fun to change. I'll just continue. See if this hard drive does anything. Got Windows XP. Good copy. Good. I'll have a machine that works. I can upgrade this to the bigger display because they're the same plugs. So I will definitely do that. Same parts. Although, I don't know, maybe I'll use that other display because it was so fresh. That bigger display, the fluorescent's getting pretty weak in it. Takes a while to warm up and then it's bright. But I do appreciate a bigger display. I can't see. Yeah, this one's kind of getting tired too. It's got a dark spot down here like the other one. I don't know if you can see it, but I can. Is it going to have a password? Last few haven't. Can you see how dark that is? I don't know. Oh, we got some little dog. Somebody liked their dog. This one has personal data on it, unlike my other two that I kind of had no stuff on it at all. Cute little flower pot too. Oh, now can you see that dark spot? I can't see my camera right now, but yeah, this fluorescent tube's tired too. They just get that way with old age. It will warm up eventually, and this usually goes away after a little bit of time. Internet security. Okay, she's full of bloatware, but like this one works, guys. So at least we'll have a functional laptop. It shows the battery's charging, so maybe this battery will work too. Oh my goodness, it's so slow. We got too much going on. This will definitely need a fresh install of XP on this hard drive anyway. Those other hard drives are corrupted, so I'm gonna have to reinstall XP on them again. Come on, computer, you can do it. You got a whole 512 megs RAM. That hard drive's working hard. I wanted to see what kind of programs we got on here. I see Safari. Odd to see that on a PC. We got Firefox. I don't know what she's doing, but it's crashing. Probably ain't gonna have time to do this any more than this quick little thing here. See, it's starting to warm up. That's disappearing a little bit. What do we got going on, computer? These buttons are so hard to deal with. Who puts a delete key down here? Of course, it's not going to do that either, huh? Yep. Definitely needs a fresh install. I don't know what's running, but it's working way too hard. Wow, I haven't seen anything load that slow in so long, guys. This brings me back to what it really was like using these laptops. Thought I saw a name of Gale there. You poor computer. Yep, Gale. Apparently, Gale owned this laptop at one point. Is there any good programs on here other than internet stuff? Does that mean this one might have Wi-Fi? I'll have to investigate that. That would be cool if it had the Wi-Fi card. Not that you can do anything normal nowadays with old school Wi-Fi unless you have an older router like I do that you can do it. And I live out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't have to worry about security. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're not gonna get to see the programs apparently. Man, they must have hated this thing at the end of its life. Because when you get a single core processor like this and a spinning hard drive loaded up with so much stuff, and even with 512 megs RAM, guys should try to find two 512s. I think these will do 1 gigabyte, but I believe that's max. Show me the money. Well, I don't know how I'm going to get this thing to shut down. I don't even know. This task manager didn't want to really even load hardly. Oh, look at that. It does have a Wi-Fi card. There we go. Wow, she is full of programs. Darn. iPod, so there might be some music on here. Lots of Dell bloatware. Real Player, QuickTime, digital camera stuff. So I'm sure there'll be tons of pictures on this thing probably. It's got Microsoft Word on it. That's cool. BlackBerry. Somebody had a BlackBerry, huh? Cool. I don't have one to play with that software. Wouldn't want to try to with this thing. Just Mahjong. I think that's how you say it. I don't even know. I don't even want to pronounce that right. Yeah, I guess hopefully you can see all this. I can't tell. Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna close everything down and shut it down. All kinds of processes taking up all the memory. Lots of things running in the background. Anyway, close that stuff out. It's finally getting past some of the stuff. Popular screensavers. Should we look at that quick if I can? I'm afraid to even try this poor thing. Actually, let's just do, and I'm sure it's an Intel chip, graphics chip in this thing, but cookies, open cookies, huh? Keyboard works. 2.8 gigahertz, which is what a lot of these came with. Let's see what the display says. I'm guessing Intel. Show the display driver. There we go. Yes, an Intel. Never liked that GME graphics controllers, but anyways, it's not even an extreme or anything crazy. Shows 64 meg. I don't know where it gets that from, if it shares it from the memory or not, but yeah, it's just an Intel chip, so not some high-end graphics stuff here. Doesn't even have AGP acceleration. That's what I wanted to find out. That's fine. Come on, there you go. Actually, not properties. I wanted to change the desktop. You know, I think I just need to quit right here and shut it down, because it'll take some time and I gotta get going. Poor thing. Turn off computer, please. I'd like it to shut down on its own, because I hate force shutting down. Yes, please, just because it's trying to do something. Come on. Yes, I get it. Oh. No screensavers. Just standard ones? Okay. Well, it says popular screen something down there. I thought maybe it had special packages. Whatever. We're going to shut it down. Please turn off the computer. You're struggling as it is. I will have to discover what's on this thing later. Make sure there's not anything just neat or different worth saving. Let's see if there's any music on it. Since it has iTunes. Somebody definitely had an iPod of some sort. Protected by Casper Lab. I've never seen something like that. Little thing. That's different. Got some custom software on here. Always fun to play with somebody's old computer. I mean, you know, there could be awful stuff on them. Not to say I haven't found one. Okay, that was painful. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this painfulness with me. See if that battery held a charge quick. Nope. Even though it showed it just was charging, it is not gonna work. That's okay. I have one that definitely holds a charge and works. All right. Well, all this one really needed was the RAM seated properly, and the seller's listing, I think, said something about not powering up. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. It was really cheap, so I bought it. I wanted one that flipping works, guys. This is the third motherboard that I've came across that actually works. So, and I also bought some more processors, slower speed than these ones, because I'm not having much luck with these in that other laptop. I'm going to try a slower processor, because when you run off the battery, this with the speed step deal or whatever, it would actually boot and work for the most part. So gonna have to figure out a few things and play with some more of these. I don't even know why, but it's fun. It's something to do, I guess. Just a quick clip of Half-Life and showing this Intel video chip off a little bit. You know, it's 1024, 768, something like that, whatever resolution, with not direct 3D, the other option. It actually looks pretty decent. Not perfect, but decent, and it's very playable. If we go and show here configurations, so I can show it. Okay, OpenGL, that's what it's called. 1024, 768, plays it perfectly, and looks really decent for just it being Intel video chip. Have not had much luck with Intel video chips, but a certain era, you can get away with it.
Testing. Testing. Everything seems to be in order.
I guess, I don't know, I've never played it in full
Right,
OpenGL.
your suit should keep you comfortable through all this. The specimen will be delivered to you in a few moments. If you would be so good as to climb up and start the rotors.
Hard to play this one hand.
The spectrometer to 80% and hold it there until the carrier arrives.
Definitely hard to play with one hand and a touchpad, but it's got some cool looks to it. So it's just to show quickly. Go to config here, video modes again. Let's go to just regular software mode and see the difference. This is just the processor itself. And honestly, even in software mode, I honestly prefer it almost. Let's go back to full OpenGL. Get a look at that with the sparks. hard to tell which one I like better.
Stage 2 emitters activating now. Gordon, we cannot predict how.
I think the sparks look about the same, really. Let's see. Back to software. Yeah, definitely a little bit fancier sparks. But
Overhead capacitors to 1.
we'll just stick with, for me anyways, sticking will be with 3D acceleration, because it definitely looks better. But I'm so used to software type graphics anyway, especially on Half-Life. I never had anything good enough to really play it in nice 3D.
It's probably not a problem.
Probably.
But I'm sure
Probably.
the small
It's fine.
discrepancy- Well, no, it's well within acceptable.
Oops.
Sustaining sequence.
Fraction.
I've just been informed that the sample is ready for them. It should be coming up to any moment.
So hard to play with one hand.
Delivery system for your specimen.
Good specimen. The best part of this whole game here. Quick little shove it in there.
Gordon, get away from the shutting down. Attempting shutdown. It's not shutting down. It's not.
Pretty fancy green sparks. I wish I could flip quicker. This is too loud. I'm gonna turn this down. How many of my viewers have actually played Half-Life? Comment if this is a game that started you. Aliens! Okay, looks really good. Oh, the Wargons. Okay, anyways. I guess there's an example of some of the 3D effects. Sparks everywhere. Anyway, let's call that quits with that. So this is the third laptop I've ordered. This one functions perfectly without a flaw with that hard drive, and I cleared up some junk so that it actually is tolerable to use now. Deleted some of those virus softwares that were loading up at the startup that was just crashing the thing horribly. So we got that one working pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna even bother gluing it, because it's just whatever, falling apart anyways. Probably gonna take this bigger screen off this one that sort of works but doesn't work, put it on here because it's in good shape. It doesn't have breaks on the hinges, and it's solid. It's easy to change the displays, and they're both compatible with each other. I would change this panel because there's a couple little minute cracks here and there, but I'm not going to bother. It's such a pain in the butt to change this whole cover. So yeah, I'm going to take the display off this one, put it on here. We're going to have a full working 15-inch display on here. I'm probably going to re-grease because this thing actually runs a little warm and doesn't have a whole lot of airflow out the back. It's probably got a little bit of dirt in the fins. Re-grease the processor. This one works great, so I'm gonna stick with using this one. Also, I have one for sure really good battery. The other one does technically charge up, but I don't think it holds very long. maybe after a couple charges it'll recover. So almost have 2 batteries. Will I ever really be using this thing much? Probably not, but it's, it's nice to try to fix these up. I wouldn't mind reloading XP on this hard drive though, just because people's stuff. What else is there to say? Yeah, I wish I had another motherboard. I could have 2 of them, technically identical twins almost, working. But this stupid thing, and I tried multiple different processors in it. It doesn't like any of them. The one that it originally had would only do that little dash deal. No matter what I did with that, memory receipt, doesn't matter. There's one other processor this one has that will turn on and post. When it's cold, it works great. As soon as things heat up on this board, it crashes. And like right now, and that's with it plugged in. If you go in the BIOS and you set the processor speed low, like 1.6 that it can do or whatever, or if you run it off a battery, it'll work pretty well. It still doesn't do certain things on XP with drivers. I've tried so many things on this thing, and I'm done with it. Giving up on that board. If I find another board, I will use it because this case is still good and it's good parts. This one also came with a Wi-Fi card, so there is internet on this one. That's nice. I don't have any more for these, but this has been a long video, and it's going to take some time to get together. But yeah, it does play some games fairly well. I think some other stuff will work fine. I'll have to try some different ones. And it's stable. It works fine. It doesn't crash. This thing, no matter what I do, it's just really been kind of annoying messing with it. So yeah, this display, even this top isn't too bad, is it? A little bit of scuffs up there. This other one is breaking loose. Kind of scuffed up and scratched pretty good anyway. So, plus the bigger screen. This one's about as tired as that one. And I have that one other display. If it wasn't broken, I'd probably keep this one the same size. That display is like new. Like when you turn it on, it is super bright. There's no darkness. It's, just really, really nice. It's very low hour fluorescent in that one. I guess if you were really bored and you wanted the bigger screen with a good fluorescent, possibly could change that part. But you know what? It's just too much. I've been screwing around with these too much, and I gotta quit looking. There's another one on eBay that keeps tempting me to buy it, but I just need to stay away. I got too many laptops, way too many laptops. They're everywhere in my little basement cave thing here. Taking up way too much space. Anyway, if you like this crazy content of me screwing around with stuff that I can't seem to fix some days, like this, that's just weird. I'm probably missing something. Like I said, I've tried so many different processes. I don't even care to bother to order anymore because I don't think it's going to make any difference. There's something going on with that board or that socket that's causing issues. So, and of course, can't just solder it, take and unsolder it and resolder it. It's probably a hairline crack somewhere that heats up. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not going to screw with it. So, with everything said on this, I'm going to quit. Go back to the little dog thing we got going on with this laptop. This thing is so full of pictures, and it does have some music on it and stuff too. People's personal files that for whatever reason they didn't remove the drive and sent it to recycling or whatever. I don't know. Didn't save the pictures or what. Maybe it quit for some reason. I don't know. I haven't had any problems with this one. Other than, man, how slow that thing was so bad. It's much more usable now. I should look and see if I can find some 512 chips and see if this thing would do gigabyte of RAM. Not that it's, I mean, 512 seems to work pretty good with it anyway. 2.8 gigahertz processor or something like that. Yeah, not bad, honestly. I wish they weren't Intel video chips. There's a version of this laptop very close that I'm tempted to buy also. It has the blue kind of theme going on in the lid and stuff. And that one supposedly has an ATI video card, I think, from what I've researched. Be kind of fun to have two working ones comparing each other, but yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Not unless I feel like it or it comes up really cheap. What else is there to say about these things? Like I have three of them. I'm able to get one good working one. But actually, I think the last thing I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to swap displays really quick and clean out that fan. Do that on this video just to finish it up with the third laptop. And yeah, if anybody's curious about one of these, like the 1150, and I'm sure some of the other ones, to take the display off so easy. This just is clipped on, this pops out. You have to have the display laying flat down, and then underneath there's screws, and the keyboard comes out really easy. You can get to the processor, all that stuff. I think I showed some of that on the video. Really easy to work on, other than that stupid BIOS battery that is just annoying beyond belief. I wonder if it's rechargeable, because I think, well, I suppose because I left the battery in, maybe, or something, because I think it kept time and date. Did it? I don't know what time it is. It's got to be, yeah, it's keeping time. So maybe it was just a one-off thing. Okay, let's turn it off. I guess one fun thing to do with this thing one time, like maybe just keep that hard drive the way it is, and then swap it out with an SD card IDE reader. See if I can get a little more performance out of this thing. I'm sure it would work pretty good. These speakers that are in here are nice and loud, but they're typical laptop speakers, really tinny. Nothing special about this thing, except a bog standard Intel single core laptop that would have worked fine for daily tasks of internet. You could watch DVDs on it. You could play light games of the era, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I guess there's not much about these to really bloat about. I'm sure they were everywhere at one point. Okay, I'm going to swap parts and I'll be back. To give you an example of why I'm switching displays, this piece just kind of broke as I folded it down, and so it's just having a broken panel is just not going to fly in my book if I want to use something that works. So got the display off this other one that's just kind of works, but it's rebellious and don't want to work, so whatever. We'll put the good panel on here, and then this one should be a nice complete unit for the most part. Wish it wasn't broken. It's gonna bug me, but for what little I'll probably ever use it for, it'll be fine. Okay, just a quick overview before I take anything apart of how like untouched everything is in this one. The first one probably in here. Since it was put together, probably very, very clean, honestly, but we'll have to see how dirty that is. The fan, looks like there's some dust in there. All right, also this laptop, this gal must have been around her perfume or something, because it definitely has that smell of just perfume in general. The other ones didn't have any smell to them, so this one will always be kind of perfumey, I guess. Okay, some quick things to mention on these things, how annoying they are. If you're going to take them out, unlock the processor, because it bonds so well to the die that you're not going to get it out of there unless you pull it out. So I'll have to carefully remove this off there and clean the grease off and start over. And I can see it's not horrible. I've seen like the other one was pretty massively dirty. There's some definite fuzz in there that is blocking some of the airflow, so we'll get that blown out and cleaned, and it'll probably run a lot cooler and perform a little better anyways. So yeah, just really annoying that the processor sticks so hard to this thing, and that way you don't damage the socket. And this one has the better socket. This is definitely a nice clicky compared to that black one that's in this one. I don't know, I think that socket's bad or something underneath soldered, who knows, I don't know, I'm just guessing. So let's get this cleaned up and I'll reassemble it. All right, here's that really bright display I was talking about. It's just no slow, it's just instantly bright. Here's the big one that I swapped out now. It looks fine. It's the more I use it, the better it's gotten anyway, and it's not quite as dark. But there's the 15-inch display. It's really nice to have a bigger display. Yeah, this one, it's still, if I'm running off a battery and it's running on a slower CPU, it seems to kind of work. Except I know as soon as it gets so far on this, it'll blue screen to death anyway. So this there, that way I put them back together. I have the working one that I'll use. This one's just put it on the back burner of something else. If I find a board for it, I'll throw it at it. The hinges are not that great on this one. That's why I didn't want to use it, because the panel's great, but the hinges and stuff are just these. For some reason, these ones are, because like this 15-inch one, it's solid. There's no play. It's not creaking, cracking, nothing. But those ones, both of them, are falling apart. So anyway, I'm gonna zoom back out here to conclude with this fun video. Don't buy old laptops. Say, there we go. This is what it does every time. I don't know what it's having a fit about, or something to do with that processor or what, but I cannot get it to finish installing XP. So I give up on that one. And you gotta hold it down. It just completely, totally crashes. And that's why I can't use it. So we're stuck with this one. It works. It's in okay shape, and it'll be usable. I probably will install something else on here, maybe a fresh XP, although it doesn't work too bad the way it is. So connects to the Wi-Fi, seems to work right, except you can't really run modern internet on these things very well. So I guess thanks for watching me try to battle these old laptops.